Okay, I've been looking for a good place to set the camera so you can see most of the track, and this is probably the best that we're going to be able to do. Over to this side is the big loop, and it's unfortunate I can't get both at once. This is pretty good too, but the cars would be out of sight for all the rest of the track. Now this is pretty much my floor layout, and I'd really like to add dual controllers, but it turns out that everybody who carries them is currently out of stock, except for one place in Germany that wants like more than twice as much as what they go for. But so far, this is what we've got going on. I'm doing this cold with no rehearsal, just to try out this camera position. Now this is the McLaren Mercedes. No, excuse me. This is the BMW Williams F1 car that I bought used, and they said it was a digital, but I can't get it to code. So I, sent an email to the guy and signed up at Slot Forum so I can ask newbie questions. Now these three, that's the new Capri, and man, is it fast. I think it's even faster than the Corvette next to it, which was my fastest car until now, and is missing the spoiler already. I'm gonna get out the super glue. In front of that is an Aston Martin Vantage. That is, it's okay. It's probably the slowest of my cars next to the pace car, which is out there, which is a Camaro pace car, and that thing is very cool too. I'm pretty sure I covered that in the last video. And then we also have a Porsche up here. The Porsche, the Aston Martin, and the Corvette came with the set. Since the last video, I've added this piece. This is the driver display monitor. With this and the two pit lanes, I only have the Corvette coded to it so far. I still have a lot to figure out on this, but it is really, really cool. I set it up, and once I set the fuel and start the race, and you have to stop into the pit every so often. The lights slowly go down, and you need to stop into the pit and refuel, or else your lights will start flashing, and you'll lose. I'm thinking it's probably about 30% of your speed. But let me turn it on. Now the only car on the track right now is the pace car and the Capri. And the fuel monitor right now, it's not hooked up to any particular car. I'm pretty sure I'd have to put the Corvette on the track and start it with fuel. In fact, the fuel is turned off right now. There's a switch on the control panel for that. But I thought I'd just run a couple laps with the Capri. It's definitely, like I say, pretty much my fastest car so far. It will definitely go fast enough to throw itself off the track, just about anywhere along. I haven't even come close to hitting full throttle yet. I'm going to do a quick full throttle run on the back. That thing just flies, man. And it sticks pretty good too. It doesn't really drift much. With those guardrails, you take the outside lane, and you can get 5 times the speed as you can on the inside lane. And one would think it would get pretty boring, but if I set it up with 2 or 3 other ghost cars and set it up so that we're in race mode and the pace car is active, the only problem with the pace car is that the ghost cars won't slow down for it. And they're all much faster because the Camaro just can't handle the speed on this track. It's got way too high a center of gravity, and if you watch closely, I'm not sure how well it's shown up on the video, but it'll usually drift around these 2 corners where it's on the inside lane. And okay, there we go, now on the outside. Stayed on it. I've noticed that for some reason, look, you can see I've got 2 pit lanes, one on the left and one on the right. For some reason, the pace car will not go into the pit lane on the right. It always changes tracks so that it misses that pit lane right there. See the drift? And there you go, now it's going to miss that pit lane. It'd have to be on the other lane right now to catch that pit lane. And then when I tell the pace car to go home, the lights on the top stop flashing, and it'll enter the next pit lane it passes. But it never passes that one. So that one's going to be my fuel pit lane. And then the other one, I'll remove the section that says fuel and replace it with a plain black section. And that'll just be specifically for the pace car. So the next time it goes by the pit, now you see I just turned it off, so now the lights on top are not blinking. And I could run this as a car in a race, but man, it's just so slow. It's got, no grip whatsoever. And I could tune the tires with some sandpaper, but they're molded with this really cool tread pattern on them, and I kind of don't want to give that up. So anyway, that's where we're at right this minute. And I've still got much more to learn and much more to do. But the final track layout for the floor is going to be different from this. I'm going to show you what I got in mind. If I can get this thing off of here. Stand by, we are experiencing technical difficulties. Alright, so anyway, the plan is, I really want to run F1 cars. That's why I'm not worried about high bank curves or NASCAR style tracks. What I want to do is down at this end, I want to have the track come down like this, and when it gets to this curve, I want it to make a hairpin and then come back down right alongside itself. And down here there'll be a little wider turn, and then it'll come back up along the inside of this track to another hairpin. So I'd have at least 2 complete hairpin turns with another one at the other end, and whatever kind of waviness and stuff I want to put in between. So anyway, I'm going to cut this short because it's already way too long. But man, I'm having a lot of fun, man. It's been pretty cool. I've got it set up right now because those guardrails will really help you out. If you're in the lane with the guardrail, you can take a corner at 5 times the speed as if you're on the inside lane. And the way it's set up now, I've got a route laid out where I'm only taking 2 corners without guardrails, and that's this one and this one. On all other turns, I'm with guardrails. So it makes it, adds a little difficulty to it, you know what I mean? But there's enough lane change sections in here that no matter what route you're taking, you can easily get back onto whichever route you want. And as long as it's on the floor, that's going to be the layout. I really want to add the hairpin turns, but they cut my hours to 35, so it's going to be a while before we're spending any more money on the old slot cars. We're going to go back to work on the Kubel because we've already got all the parts for that. See you next time.